On behalf of all of us and Fan Appreciation, the Calgary Flames, my name is Beasley saying thank you. Enjoy your weekend. Right now, Brandon Parker and Ryan Dittrick standing by for the Flames TV Live postgame show, presented by Original 16.
You can look for new limited edition 15 packs of Original 16 Canadian Pale Ale. Each pack includes a mix of collectible cans for the ultimate Flames fan to proudly display. Original 16, official beer sponsor of the Calgary Flames.
Welcome inside Flames Postgame Live. It's brought to you by Original 16. And look at this, we're right hot into it. And we've got the beers ready, and we've got Mackenzie Weegar ready, too. Welcome inside. Congrats on the win. 5-3, we should mention, victory over the San Jose Sharks here this afternoon. And, maybe, Mackenzie, since we got you right off the bat, let's just kind of get your initial thoughts on this one here. Obviously, some momentum swings, too, but how did you find a way to get it done?
Yeah, I mean, lots of momentum swings. I thought our start was great. I thought, we came out with a lot of pace, lots of intensity, kind of sat back a bit. Second period, I thought maybe they took it a little bit to us there, but tight game going in the third period. Walker played a great game tonight. Naz scoring a big goal, and Markey stood tall for us. And games this time of year are going to be tight. They're going to be tough, and I thought everybody stayed composed, and we got a good win.
3-3 game, second intermission. I mean, we've said it a lot recently. When you enter those situations, it's the most important period of the year. What was kind of the mindset in the locker room as you guys got set to come back out for that one?
I think, we needed the same start in the third as the first. I thought we did that. We came out with good pace again. And then Markey stood tall and made big saves. But, our mindset going in was just, stay poised, stay confident. We know we're going to get the goal. And once we get the goal, we got to, finish strong.
Nice start, obviously, to this hockey game, and I think that kind of set the table for you. But maybe just tell us about your goal and the way that it ends up kind of unfolding right to your stick there in the high slot.
Yeah, I honestly kind of forget about it a bit, but I know Manch had it in the corner.
Yeah.
He tried to make a pass to somebody, but luckily it squared out to me, and I just tried to get a 1-tee off, kind of offside-ish, and it went post in. So happy to get the first goal there.
I know in the midst of a playoff race, it's sometimes tough a little bit to talk about the personal side of it, but you've really stepped up your game, and the coaches haven't been, they've been raving about how after the All-Star break, you've really maybe come into your own and settled down a little bit. How do you think it's been going here this last little while?
Yeah, I think, the break, really did settle me in. Got comfortable. I got a little bit more familiar with the guys, but, it all comes down to, wanting to get in the playoffs and having that urgency and, that desperation to want to get in the playoffs. And I think, everybody's, I think we're on a bit of a roll here. I know we're a little inconsistent here and there, but we all got to come together as a team with these last few games here and, try to get in the playoffs so you never know what can happen.
And one last one, just because we see the out-of-town scoreboard, obviously get that now back 4 points again, and you talked about it's got to all be meaningful down the stretch here. Now you got an opportunity here coming up on Tuesday with LA coming into town to kind of keep it rolling, as you said.
Yeah, I think we owe them one. We went to their building and, got smoked. So I think, we better be ready to go and do the same thing to them.
Congrats on your fourth of the year, and appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks, boys.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Mackenzie Weegar joining us right off the hop here. Nice way to start the show on the Flames Postgame Live, brought to you by Original 16. And yeah, what a start. Obviously, some good analysis, much better than you would have provided right off the top. Just hit right out of the.
You are right, though.
Out of Weed's
Absolutely.
mouth. No, I'm just bugging you. Brian Dittrick, didn't even get a chance to introduce you, but we figured we'd circle back around to that.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he kind of talked about some momentum. Easy for me to say, momentum swings. But what did you make of really the first part of the game, the way the start, and then just kind of how they managed it throughout here?
Impressive in the sense that they got off to such a quick start, that opening 5 minutes. You put a couple of goals up, obviously that helps, but it was really about how it looked. They were all over them, and in many ways that's probably how it should have looked, because we know it's been a tough season for the San Jose Sharks, but credit to them. I mean, this is a team that, is not going to the postseason again. They've, had Timo Meier, who is no longer a part of the organization, and you're kind of just playing out the string at this point. But they battled back. They made a game of it. They get that first one, and you can sense that the tide was turning a little bit, and all of a sudden we were in the middle of a hockey game. So for the Calgary Flames, you have to battle through that. In a situation like that, just because your opponent is matching some of the desperation you have, as we talked about with Mackenzie there, that third period comes around, there are no excuses. You have to go out and get that victory, and the Flames did. So we can talk about all we want about how it looked. The important thing is they got the 2 points in the standings, and that is all they needed on this day.
Yeah, Walker Duehr said after second period there, that's the biggest period of the season. And, I think we've had a few of those this season and we'll continue to. But, I think to the Flames' credit, that's exactly what you want, right, is you want meaningful periods, meaningful games. And that's what we got here this afternoon. 5-3 the final. Let's take a look at how it all went down here tonight, today. Second fine of the afternoon. Afternoon games will trip you up every time, but not the Calgary Flames today. And it was the start. So much conversation about starts to hockey games, and this is exactly what you want, as described by Mackenzie Weegar, his fourth of the year.
100%, and we talked about they were dominating at this point, so you're kind of getting the Sharks running around a little bit off the cycle. Mangiapane with a nice pass, a little bit of help into the slot area, but the key is San Jose's running around. They've lost all their coverage. You're taking advantage of the fact that they are just not in the game at this point. That's what you need to do. You need to jump on teams early when they're not prepared to go.
So quickly, a 1-0 lead for the Flames, and then how about this passing play? Just a thing of beauty. Jonathan Huberdeau gets the zone entry, the spin pass from Elias Lindholm, and 30 goals for Tyler Toffoli.
We've talked so much with Daryl Sutter recently about what is making Tyler Toffoli so successful this year. Well, he's a shooter, we know that, but he said what you really need is a guy that can get him the puck. He's a volume shooter. Right there, Elias Lindholm, he's been his centerman all season long. Clearly a little bit of chemistry developing between the two there, because there was definitely some sixth sense happening.
Beautiful finish and a beautiful goal, but before the period would end, it would be a response from the San Jose Sharks and some nice passing of their own. Logan Couture is the beneficiary, his 25th of the season.
You know, as tough a season as it's been for the Sharks, one thing they are really good at is generating high-quality chances, and this is kind of a good example of that. A center lane drive, Erik Karlsson, we know the season he's having, but that's a terrific pass, and you do have to pay the price. Logan Couture did that.
It's funny because 2 goals in 2 very similar looks, and both coming off middle lane drives, as you talked about. Nico Sturm gets this one, his 14th.
Tough play there for Dennis Gilbert, too. You see him and Troy Stecher, you're in good position, but you're right. Nico Sturm, he kind of has that little last-second acceleration to drive right between them, and the pass, that's right on the tape.
It was absolutely perfect and redirected in nicely. And then this was the second goal in a span of 22 seconds. The Sharks started the second period much like the Flames started the first.
Kind of an unfortunate break there too, because it seems the rebound from Kaut, he doesn't get a ton on it, and Markstrom kind of gets back a little bit, but it looks like it deflects just off the inside of his leg and into the net. So a little bit of a bad break there, but it's all about the response for this Flames team.
Martin Kaut gets the goal. That's his third of the season, but the response, as you said, it was all about. Walker Duehr gets his stick on that clearing attempt from Kaapo Kähkönen, and then Trevor Lewis puts it on a tee for him, just kind of off his front foot, and Duehr deposits his 5th.
We've seen some goal scorer goals from Walker Duehr lately, but this one, that's a thing of beauty. That's a no-doubter straight to the back of the net. But as you said, starting the play, you're creating some pressure on the goalie. Doesn't give him any time to get that outlet pass out. This Flames team thrives on a hard forecheck. That's what led to the offense there.
So important in terms of the pressure, leads to the goal, and then that line would go right back to work. And I know Trevor Lewis not on the ice there, but Milan Lucic had the original shot. Walker Duehr creates the chaos, gets it back toward the net, and then Kadri scores his second in as many nights.
Oh yeah, individual effort, 1-on-3 from Walker Duehr. Good shot into the pads from Milan Lucic too. That's what creates that juicy rebound. But Nazem Kadri going right where you have to be, right to the front of the net on the doorstep. Easy tap in.
What an afternoon for Walker Duehr. We'll talk a little bit more about his game, and this obviously seals it into the empty net. Tyler Toffoli had maybe an opportunity just moments prior, but does some good job, some good stuff in the neutral zone to create that turnover, and then just takes it. Thought maybe we could see Bax with a goal there to finish off his 900th career
the crowd
game.
wanted it.
Yeah, I thought it, but take no chances. That thing had to be put away, and it was nicely. So for Tyler Toffoli, 31 on the year, that ties his career high. Yep. Second ever 30-goal season. That was reached in the first period with his 30th of the year. And then, of course, matches that career high with 31. So some good stuff there from Tyler Toffoli. Obviously, the game winner goes to Nazem Kadri. And that's how you add up a Calgary Flames 5-3 victory here this afternoon. Let's get some reaction. We heard from Mackenzie Weegar already. Let's hear what the head coach had to say. Let's go to the Ed Whalen Media Lounge now and hear from head coach Daryl Sutter.
I think it was a real gut check game. I think 9 games in 15 and a half days for everybody in this room that travels with us, and it's hard for us.
What do you think about your group's energy level from start to finish?
I thought exactly what I just said. I think it was a real gut check thing, and they had to really battle through a lot of things.
Daryl, what was the thought process putting Kadri with Duehr and Lucic in the third there?
It was just after a change there. the way that their centermen, they have two guys that win a lot of draws. So Michael and Lindy had a lot of D-zone starts, so trying to get Naz in the game a little bit more, and they went out and play with two real grind guys, Luch and Walker, and scored a big goal.
What did you see from Walker Duehr in this game?
I think, as you said, we've been it's kind of a little bit of supply and demand, right? We demand you play hard, and they supply it, so you supply it, and you get to play lots.
Being a gut check game, was there a moment for you that maybe got tested and you really saw the response you were looking for?
No, I don't think as a team, but as there's individuals you really count on. I think guys like Bax and Lindy and Ty and guys like that really go out there and grind it out and try and compete for pucks. I don't think there was one specific play, but when those guys are on the ice, it make a difference.
What did you think of the tribute for Bax in the first period?
It's awesome. You guys know how I feel about him. It's a privilege to know him as long as I have.
Talked lots about Tyler Toffoli, but is it cool to see him tie a career high in goals?
Yep, he's a winner. It's probably not a career high. He's probably, if he put his playoff goals into another year, he's a winner. Can't teach it. Thankful to have him.
With Duehr, the energy he gives.
Consistency. It's all it is.
He gets rewarded too with the goal, the assist.
Sure. But that's not what it's based on, right? He's just got to be. He's learning to be a consistent player. It's just like all the other young guys. You know what? They learn the consistency part of the game, and Walker's played on a. He probably played last year on a fourth line in the American League, and this year he's playing on a third line. So, he knows the role, right? So then it's being able to play that role at this level. So that's the whole thing for him.
So he finds the consistency. What are the tools he has that then can make him?
He's big, skate, thinks the game. He's a good team player. I think players like that, it's always the way they're measured is wins and losses. So that's how it's measured, right? Those guys that play roles, that's no different than a Luch or a Louis or guys like that, right? That's what they do. So you learn that.
What did you think of Duehr on the Kadri goal where he put in all that work to?
Yeah, I think it was the line. I think the three of them together.
Zadorov and Weegar were combined +6. How have you seen their play evolve this season?
I think it started to show you the season.
Yeah.
75. What have we played? 73 games. I mean, you'll evaluate it in 2 weeks.
What about tonight then?
Well, as I said, it's 9 games in 15 and a half days. The guys that play lots of minutes after Tanny went out, it's hard for them, right? It's freaking heavy lifting.
Daryl, your group's 4 back at the last wild card now. How have you seen them sort of maintain?
Stay where you are, right? That's the way you do it. You can't let. We know where we're at, and we know why we're where we're at. So that's the bottom line. It's not. We can't. If it's in the room, we're good. It's just can't let anything outside the room affect you.
Is there any update on Chris Tanev?
You know what? He's better today than he was, but I think it's still, it's good. We got a couple of days here, and then we'll just go from there again. See what he's like on Monday. There's really I don't have a good answer because there isn't one. It's just he's got to get better.
A little update there from Daryl Sutter on Chris Tanev, who missed the game here this afternoon. Obviously, the story, or a big part of the story, is Walker Duehr here tonight. And, a guy that, we were laughing because we were sitting on the desk yesterday and had that conversation about, his goal or no goal from Thursday night and just how odd that situation was coming up the boards. And he said, I look up and I hear yelling from the bench, shoot, and I'm in the neutral zone. And I look up and the goaltender's right in front of my face. So, kind of a funny circumstance. And obviously there was, kind of a smart play by Logan Thompson, as we found out in the end. He's trying to get an extra attacker there. And then funny enough, the situation happens again here tonight or today.
Exactly the same, yeah.
Where exactly the same, where the moorings nets off its moorings. But it was done properly, I suppose, here today, and the fact that as soon as the Flames got possession, it was whistled dead. Anyway, that's a side story because Duehr could have had a goal, or at least his 5th on Thursday night. Instead, he gets it today. And, boy, he has been, part of that other conversation on the more serious front was about the speed and just how much, they pride on away from the puck and when they don't have it, and how, you got to prioritize getting it back. And the way that they kind of create chaos is just, similar to what we saw here today.
It's almost exactly what we see from Jacob Pelche too when he's in the lineup. You talk about the speed, as you mentioned, but it's all about when you don't have the puck. That's really where you see the biggest gains. And, you know, you go back to his goal. He knocks out down a clearing attempt. Well, that's a great opportunity that, you know, typically the play is going back in transition. You're not going to be able to knock it out of midair every time, but when you're creating those, you know, tight area spaces for your opponent, you're not giving them time to make plays, and then you're immediately jumping into an offensive mindset. You know, you're doing what you need to do when your opponent's on its heels. You're creating chaos, you're getting everybody running out of position, you're opening up passing lanes, and in this case, you're opening yourself up for a one-timer. So it's all the hockey IQ we talk so much about too, because he's, for a guy with his level of pro experience, it's really impressive how he's able to adapt, or at least go from the AHL to the NHL, and it appears at least seamless.
And just forcing decisions, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened there on the Capo. Kakinen played close to 12 minutes here, obviously, today, and a goal and an assist, which will be measured easily. And it was the, you know, sort of the other chaos that, as we talked about, created that he did such a good job throughout the course of the afternoon. Let's go inside the Flames locker room. Let's hear from Nazem Kadri here first. He has the game winner and goals in back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, just timely goals. You know, catch a break. You know, I think we earned that, and we stayed competitive, stayed in it, instead of getting frustrated, and, you know, it pays off. So, you know, times like that throughout the course of the season are going to happen.
At risk of being a Debbie Downer, you have the 2-0 lead, and then they pour it on, and they had it down to 3-2. How do you explain that?
I mean, teams aren't going to quit, right? I mean, it's I don't think it's unheard of for teams to crawl out of, you know, 1, 2, 3 goal leads. So, you know, ideally, of course, we want to hang on to the lead for the entire game, but this is the NHL. There's some good players that are going to push back, and you know, obviously they did a good job at doing that. But you know, we got refocused and got ourselves back into the game and scored a huge goal.
What did you see from your line mates on the game-winning goal?
Just work, you know, making plays. I think you know, that's what you know, Walks and Luch are good at. You know, staying on pucks and being tenacious, and you know, just tried to get simple and go to the net, and you know, that's where, you know, most of the pucks are going. So it's great work ethic by them.
Did you? It seems like a little bit of a noisy week for you. Did that one feel extra special just because of all that noise, or?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, that's just, you know, how it works. Like, when you play in the league for a certain amount of time, you understand that you know, when it's not going your way, you might have to just take a step back, simplify. You know, get to the net, grind out a couple ugly ones, and until you get your mojo back. So, you know, that's part of the identity, right? And just you know, having that composure to not quit and continue to you know, just move ahead.
For you, when you're not feeling it, or you got to look at film more, do you maybe take a different mental approach? How do you get out of that?
Yeah, I don't think it's you got to overthink it or overanalyze. I think that's a bit of a slippery slope. So like I mentioned, you just try to simplify your game out there a little bit until you start, you know, finding your rhythm, and you know, that's exactly, you know, what happened tonight.
It seemed like a lot of stuff happened in a hurry in the second period. What was it like for you guys on the bench getting that goal back right after you go down 3-2?
Well, that was a big goal for us, for sure. You know, we were a little bit flat there for a second, and obviously, you know, the boys go out there and get a big goal to kind of rally us back in, and you know, obviously, it gives you kind of an energy boost at home. So, you know, anytime you can respond with a goal that quickly is a huge bonus.
And I guess for the group, you know, you've been a young guy breaking into the league like Walker Duehr is now. You know, him, you know, getting that goal to tie it. You know, his play on the game winner. For this group, you know, you always talk about, you know, we need to see someone step up and be a difference maker in these types of games. For it to be someone, you know, who's still breaking in and trying to make a name for himself, what does that do for the group, seeing someone step up like that?
Yeah, it's motivating. Of course, you look for the young guys to provide energy, and you know, Walks is a great kid, and he's willing to learn, and you know, obviously becoming an NHL player, an established one, you have to have that consistency and bring it every single night, and you know, I think he's certainly got the work ethic to do that. So, you know, it was nice to see him get rewarded.
As it's been a while since your season didn't go past game 82. You guys are within 4 now. How hopeful do you remain that this team can still make a case for a wild card?
The most hopeful. I mean, that's kind of been our motive all year. I think you know, you certainly got to give us credit for that. You know, like I said, ideally you want to find yourself to not be in this position this late in the season, but you know, it's hard to win in months like these leading up into the playoffs, and we're giving ourselves a chance. So that's really all that matters at this point.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
All right, there's Nazem Kadri. He gets the game winner, his 23rd of the season. It comes in the third period of this hockey game, and obviously they'd add the empty netter from Tyler Toffoli. So let's change the conversation and move over to Toffoli because obviously significant in that he gets his second career 30-goal campaign. He gets 31 here this afternoon as well, which matches his career high. But, it should come as no surprise given what we've seen throughout this entire season, playing alongside, Elias Lindholm and whoever may be on the other side. What stands out to you about some of the conversations you've had, but just maybe, how we got to this point with Tyler Toffoli and the season that he's had, which is a career one?
I go back to about 10 days ago when we were in Vegas, and that was a big win for the Flames that night. He, of course, was influential in the offense that night, too. He's normally pretty soft-spoken, but he told us in his post-game interview that he entered the season with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Maybe there were some out there that never saw him as a top-line player, and he's going out there and proving that he's a top-line player this year. There's no question about that.
Tonight again.
You alluded to a conversation I had with him, and you're going to see different examples of that throughout this pack here. It's all about his shot, and I'm not necessarily talking about what's coming out of his hands. In a conversation with him, he was telling me about how he's had to evolve his game over the past few years and try to surprise goaltenders. And sometimes that's about where the puck is on the blade of your stick. Sometimes it's about where your toes are pointed. Sometimes you'll take a look, he's pointing east-west. You would never think a guy's in a position to shoot the puck, let alone pick corners like we've seen this season. But he's able to kind of manipulate his angles and really catch goalies off guard. I've kind of followed up on that with Dan Vladar the next day too, and he said the same thing. An innocent-looking shot from the half wall from most players doesn't typically present a lot of danger, but when a guy with his skill set and maybe that knack for catching goalies out of position or a little bit off their post, it can make all the difference in the world. And like you said, 32 goals this year, we've seen it numerous times, and it's great to see here too because he's over the age of 30 and a guy is still finding ways to not just stay relevant but really stay at the top of his class, and it's just wild to see because it's really shows what a student of the game can be even for a player at this level.
Yeah, that's well said, and obviously he has been such a driving force for the Calgary Flames and their offense throughout the course of this season, up to 31 goals on the year. Let's hear from Toffoli now inside the Calgary Flames locker room.
Yeah, I think just sticking together. They're a desperate team. They have some skill, and obviously with Carlson on the back end, he can take over games, and I thought we did a good job sticking together and finding a way to win.
No, it's not about individual stuff for you, but to tie your high water mark in terms of goals, you're already there in points. What's that mean to a guy?
Yes, it's really cool. I was joking around. I was trying to pass the backs there and have him cap off the day, but I'm very fortunate. Obviously, it hasn't gone the way as a group we've wanted to, and it's a little unfortunate, but at the same time, we're still kind of in it and just trying to win games.
How much does a guy like Carlson change your game plan?
Yeah, he takes over games. I mean, the guy has what do you have tonight? 2 points, 90 points on the season, and just that alone takes over games and can dominate. And I thought we did a good enough job and found a way.
Tyler, lost in a 5-3 game can be the goalie, but there were a couple of really key saves in the third period, especially. From Jacob to finding that form when you need him most, it's got to be about as much as anything for giving you guys hope that you could make this run.
Yeah, I mean, Marky's been playing great the last 10, 15 games. He's given us a chance. So we've got to take it game by game. And like I said, winning tonight, keeps us in it and a little bit more hope and just a little more opportunity. We got to, refresh and just start thinking about the next game.
In your short time here in Calgary, what can you say about Michael Backlund as a teammate and a player?
He comes every single day and he comes to work and he takes care of things on and off the ice, and he's definitely one of the better teammates I've had. And this season alone, being able to sit beside him throughout the season, it's been fun.
There's been a lot of people who have been eager to sort of count this group out. You talk about having some hope. How you guys sort of maintain that, and how important will it be in these next 2.5 weeks?
I mean, we can't really worry about what other people are thinking. We just have to win every game we can, and every game we win keeps us in it and gives us a chance.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Original 16, a great way to celebrate things done well.
Welcome back to Flames Postgame Live. It's brought to you by Original 16, celebrating things done well. The Calgary Flames, 5-3 winners over the San Jose Sharks here this afternoon, and we'll continue to hear some reaction from inside the Calgary Flames dressing room. We've heard from Toffoli, heard from Nazem Kadri. Let's go back inside now and listen to one of the game stars. In fact, I think he was the #1 star this afternoon, and that would be Walker Duehr. Goal and an assist here today.
Yeah, I felt good and felt fresh, so it was a good game. We were able to move the puck pretty good, and yeah, felt good today.
What did you see on the, obviously I know you got the tying goal, but on the Nazem Kadri goal, you made it's a pretty wild shift you had there. Can you take us through?
Yeah, I got the puck to the neutral zone kind of with no speed, so I didn't really know what to do and just kind of made my way to the middle and protected the puck and just fell down there. And I think I whacked it to Luch there, and then got a shot on net for a Nazem score, so yeah, it was a nice play.
Do you feel more confident carrying the puck in the NHL compared to maybe first?
Yeah, for sure. I think you feel more comfortable with every game, right, and with every practice. So, when you get that confidence, you try to just bring it in to every game. So, yeah, I feel more comfortable for sure.
A lot of talk about Michael Backlund. He punched the 900 on him. Did that get lost on you at all throughout the course of the game? What does that mean to have a teammate who's reached such a good milestone?
No, I think it was a really special day for Backs. Organization did a great job kind of celebrating that, and all the guys in here were happy to be a part of it and happy to celebrate him. So, no, it was a special day for him and a huge accomplishment for sure.
You only need 870 something, is that right?
Yeah, I think if I could ever get to that, I think I'd be happy with my career. But yeah, it's not many people get to do that, let alone with the same organization your whole career. So yeah, it's really cool for him.
How cool is this for you right now to be contributing, obviously tying goal, assist on the game winner as part of a playoff push, like to be contributing in games that mean this much? How cool is that for you?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. That's what you want to do as a player, right? You want to, with my game, it's not always with scoring and putting pucks to the net to contribute, but in other ways, in other nights, maybe with hits and just playing hard against the other team. But when you can get on the score sheet, it's always a nice feeling to help the team win.
Do you still have pinch me moments, like you're lining up against guys like Carlson or whomever? Do you still have kind of pinch me, I'm here type moments, Walker? Or?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like during the games, but maybe if you go back and watch your shifts or kind of just after the game reflect on it, you're lined up against some of the world's best. So yeah, it's still a really cool feeling. I don't think I'll ever get tired of it.
Was it a little surreal, I guess, being named first star in an NHL game?
Yeah, I know. I was walking up the tunnel. Peter told me I was first star, so it was something pretty cool for sure.
When was the last time you were named first star in a game?
I don't know, bro. Maybe in the HL, I think I got like third star or something, but no, I don't know. Doesn't happen too often.
Okay, thanks, Walker.
All right.
Thanks, Walker.
Thanks.
Tomorrow will be a recovery day for our group.
There you go, Walker Duehr, a goal and an assist, and a little conversation around Michael Backlund there as well. 900 games here this afternoon. Obviously, an incredible accomplishment, given especially the fact that he's done it with one organization, the Calgary Flames, drafted back in 2007, and climbs all the way into kind of a historic, exclusive company in the fact that it's just Jerome McGinley, Mark Giordano, and now Michael Backlund. But nice little tribute in the first period here this afternoon as well, and a celebration justly deserved in front of, he's got family and obviously his kids in attendance. I think I heard them running around here in the concourse on the event level. The Scotiabank Saddledome as well. But what do you make of 900 for a guy that has been just a lot for this franchise?
I mean, we could try and everything would be a classic undersell. Rasmus Anderson joining the show there briefly. It would be underselling it. I mean, Michael Backlund is the consummate professional. You and I know that. We're lucky to work with this guy day in and day out. And, it's funny, we see it here at the Saddledome almost every day, but to me, the part that sticks out when you see him on the road trips, and he never has a bad day. You see him in the hotel lobby, you see him getting onto the bus, he's always got a smile on his face, he's asking what you're up to and how your day is going. I mean, this is the guy that we see every day, and it's maybe the guy that the fans don't see as much of, and they need to know about how good of a guy he is, because what you see on camera is exactly who he is. And for him to be able to get that standing ovation tonight, richly deserved. And he's not stopping there. I think that's the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely well said. And number 3 all time in terms of games played that the Calgary Flames franchise. So good for him. And also just the leadership role that he's kind of taken on here over the last couple of seasons. I think, maybe something that doesn't get noticed as much from the outside in, but you see it every day, and you see just what kind of leadership role he's taken on. You hear it from his teammates. Dylan Dubé, I thought, put it nicely yesterday, just about what he's meant to younger players in that locker room. So congrats to Michael Backlund and the Backlund clan, who are all celebrating here, and celebrating with an afternoon game, no less, of course, so they can go and enjoy themselves here as a family after the game as well. All right, let's get to the business at hand, and that is where we leave the Western Conference standings by the end of today, because here's a look at the out-of-town scoreboard that leaves you with a couple of favorable finals across the league. Nashville falls to the Seattle Kraken in their second of back-to-backs, so that's helpful. And then the Los Angeles Kings on home ice handle the Winnipeg Jets 4-1, which leaves us with this current look at the Western Conference playoff picture. The Flames are now back within 4 points of the Winnipeg Jets, but as we know, with these tiebreakers, it's really 5 points, but obviously in a position that is much more favorable today post-game than it was after Thursday night, and now the roles are reversed, because upcoming for the Calgary Flames are the Los Angeles Kings, and upcoming for the Winnipeg Jets are the San Jose Sharks. So needless to say, it's a meaningful one, and dare I say, the biggest game of the season on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think that first period will probably be the biggest period of the season, too, I'm guessing.
Yeah, why not?
You know what? Maybe good for everybody, and the players included. I think we all get a little bit of a breather here for a couple of days. Maybe just, don't take your foot off the pedal, but relax a little bit.
Step back,
which is great. Day off tomorrow, practice day Monday, and both teams, as in the Flames and the Jets, not back in action again until Tuesday night. So you won't have to be scoreboard watching, kind of get your bearings again, and get back to work on Tuesday.
Yes, and that goes for all of you, too. Take a breath.
Yes.
Step back for a moment. The Winnipeg Jets, by the way, are coming up soon, too, on the schedule. So that'll be an interesting, interesting date circled. But you got to get there first, and you got to be in a good position by the time you do get there. All right, so as for today, it is a 5-3 final. The Calgary Flames come up with a big win at a big time, and do move back within 4 points of that final playoff spot. There you see the Backlund clan on game number 900 for number 11, and a celebration that was perfectly put in the first period, and a nice little salute from Sea of Red to Michael Backlund. And then the offense took over. There was a push from San Jose, but the Flames found a way to get it done here this afternoon. A pair of goals from Tyler Toffoli. He's got a new career high, and the Flames get a 5-3 win, and it's onward and upward. Now we look ahead to Tuesday, which is the next date. It's also the end of this 3-game homestand against the Los Angeles Kings, a team that, as Mackenzie Weegar said, they owe them one, coming up here on Tuesday. Thanks for watching Flames Postgame Live. We'll see you back here on Tuesday.